Well, on my end, I already mentioned how I would talk about Nintendo, and I guess I'll talk about that now. I have gone on record as to say that I don't think Nintendo took E3 seriously this year, and I still stand by that. They just did not bring in the big guns. The fact that one of their biggest announcements was prior to the actual E3 show says a lot. Earthbound Beginnings was some. If they mentioned that on E3, during their actual conference, to me that would have been on par with Sony's Final Fantasy VII Remake announcement. That would have been right on par with that. But they did it before that, and instead we got things like Federation Force, which, oh god, it's a lazy cash-in on the Metroid series. That's exactly what it is. You know, fans want an actual Metroid game. The last actual Metroid game that fans got was Other M. Need I say more? And just Blast Ball. We said during the Nintendo World Championships that it looked like Metroid, and I'm sad that it is Metroid. I wouldn't have hated this as much if it was its own, IP. Because then I could have just been like, oh, it don't look too interesting to me. But when they throw Metroid on it, I get the same vibe that I got from, like, say, Kirby's Epic Yarn, a game that had no business being a Kirby game and being its own IP, but slapping a fucking famous name on it just to sell more. Shit like that bothers me, and this is exactly what Federation Force and Blast Ball is. And another thing about the Nintendo conference, how much actual new Wii U content did they announce? And I'm talking about things that we didn't already know.
Yeah. Well, we just got to see Star Fox, but
Star Fox and Mario Tennis. That was pretty much it. And everything else was things that we've already seen footage for. Star Fox I can give a pass because we knew about it, but we didn't get footage of it. But honestly, just fucking hell.
Yeah.
Nintendo, why is it that almost all of your major announcements were for the 3DS? The 3DS is already doing well. It's the Wii U that needs the help. But, well, I already know why. The NX is coming.
Because the NX.
And the Wii U is just going to be tossed aside, and it's fairly obvious. And then another negative from Nintendo's conference was the entirety of that, 15 minutes of people singing the Super Mario Bros. Music. Holy shit. That was obnoxious. I get that the 30th anniversary of Mario is coming, and maybe they could have done something for, a minute. But that took up almost, 10 to 15 minutes. That was, a quarter of their show.
Yeah.
And it was ridiculous. It was absurd. And, I fucking hated that. Another negative. The PC Gaming Show. Let's talk about the PC Gaming Show. This fucking show. I didn't get to say my fucking piece when you did the review of it because I was already sleeping. I actually fell asleep during this show. But, holy shit, this was bad. There were, no major announcements. I think when I was awake, we only got one major game announcement. And I don't know if it changed after that, but we had almost no trailers.
Not really.
It was them basically... First off, the introduction to that fucking conference was the cringiest shit I've ever seen. Fucking pouring Mountain Dew in a wine glass and acting like this is, high living.
I was just waiting for to have someone grab a fedora off
have a fucking fedora made of Doritos. But tip the hat and then fucking takes a bite. But for fucking real though, this fucking conference had two speeds: cringe and snooze. If it wasn't cringeworthy, it was fucking boring. I don't know who the hell this guy was that was hosting this fucking thing, but I was hoping that fucking the fuck is his name, who Bill Gates. I was hoping Bill Gates would come out with a fucking shotgun and shoot him like the fucking Doom commercial he did back in 1995 and just says, "Don't interrupt me."
Oh, God.
This guy was insufferable, and the format that they fucking used, this talk show format, like we were on Late Night with Conan, and the guy was trying to act like Conan, trying to be funny. No, that was terrible. The only jokes that were funny were the ones we made ourselves, like when the guy came in and just handed him a briefcase. He's cashing in, Maggle! And nobody... What the fuck was in the briefcase anyway? Was it the fucking video card? Yeah, they were talking about
it was a video
like the
card,
video
yeah.
card. I don't give a shit about a video card.
Got it. We got it done. We got it done. Oh, that was fucking amazing. When they actually had the CEO of the company out there talking about it, and when she left, her mic was still on, so you just hear,
Yeah.
"We got it done." And like the fucking Twitch chat exploded. We got it done.
But Jesus fucking Christ, this show was fucking awful. Let me just say this right now. EA was better than the fucking PC gaming show. That might sound like an extreme, but let me tell you why. EA, we actually were able to make fun of, and we had a lot of laughs during EA's conference. This show,
Thanks to the
fuck
seals.
this show. Fuck the PC gaming show.
We were just begging for it to end.
When we were saying we're not covering this, let that be a fucking sign. Now EA, I guess I may as well talk about EA, because EA sucked too. We had the fucking Revenge of the Seals. They really weren't there in full force last year, because they had a conceptual prototype. So it was like a fucking hologram of a seal. But this year, it was a fucking army of seals. Sports. Then they had fucking Pele. Life is beautiful. Fucking just interviewing him for like a half hour. Nobody in the audience gives a shit about Pele. And don't get me wrong, Pele is a sports legend and all that. Nobody can take that away from him. But the people in the crowd don't give a shit about Pele. They want to see games. They don't want to see an interview about soccer and the realistic graphics of FIFA. It's beautiful. Just, ugh. And for the love of God, next time you put a microphone on a guy, make sure the microphone is a different color than the color of his skin. Because it looked like two things. Either he had a freakish mole on his face, or he ate some Captain Crunch and got a crunch berry stuck there. But for fuck's sakes, nobody gives a shit about this. Nobody gives a shit about Madden. Star Wars Battlefront, okay, people give a shit about this. Except now, and they're probably going to introduce some DLC where John Madden comes in a fucking X-Wing. But
I mark out for that. I paid $4.99.
No, what we're gonna do here
fucking him and Pat Summerall. No. $4.99 for John Madden and Pat Summerall to fucking commentate.
But for fucking real, EA, for fuck's sakes, yeah, it was better than the conceptual prototype you had last year. But holy shit. Get your fucking act together. This is a gaming conference, not a sports conference. You want to have your sports conference? Go to ESPN. They'll gladly have your sports conference. Maybe you'll get John Madden to come in on an X-Wing on there. But, Jesus Christ.
Tell us how you really feel.
Ubisoft, let's talk about you. Why the fuck did they get Carlton to fucking sing for us? I just...
I forgot.
The fucking Carlton just shows up and starts singing and dancing? What the fuck is this shit?
Then they tried to say it was Jason.
Pandering to
Momoa,
90s
like,
kids, duh.
you're
But
not
fucking
getting us
hell.
there. That's definitely Carlton.
And Tom Clancy. I've already made this joke, but clearly Ubisoft is run by necrophiliacs because they ride that corpse so fucking hard. And Jesus Christ, don't get me wrong, Tom Clancy games are probably fun. The Division looks good, and the other one looked good, the Rainbow Six game. And even the Ghost Recon game probably looks fun. But I don't need that much Tom Clancy in one fucking conference. And I guess that's pretty much it for the shit that I didn't like.